Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully, the clouds will be here in a few minutes to help us along. If you didn't get a program, I have programs here. Um, and we have lots of water back by the little pop-up tent back there. So please just feel free to help yourself get up and get some water um, because it's such a hot day. This is, thank you. This is such an exciting day for the West Falmouth Library, and it's thanks to you all for making this happen. We're very excited because 120 years ago, the original building was dedicated on this day, July 15th. So we decided to have our groundbreaking on the same day, 120 years later. We think that's pretty amazing. The library, as you know, was really founded in the 1870s by 5 young women who wanted the Young People's Union for musical and literary activities. In the late 1893, they became the West Falmouth Library Association with 800 books. So we've come a little far from that. And in a wonderful generosity, D. Wheeler Swift did the construction, and the Mendenhall family from Minneapolis donated the land. So we are in similar circumstances today. We're pleased to announce that, thanks to everybody here and all our donors, we have reached 2.3 million. Thank you. As Ed Stimson just said, it took us a little while, but we're getting there, and we're on our way to 2.9. So thank you to all of you for that. We, as you know, the library is a central gathering place as well as a library for the West Falmouth community and beyond. And that's very important as we have many more visitors to the library and spread around the area. We became part of CLAMS 9 years ago. And that has added to the activity in the library. So as we look forward to, as Charlie will tell you, a new addition and some much needed renovations and restoration of the community room, it will be a very wonderful place for everybody. I want to thank the campaign committee, the honorary committee, and the board of directors very much for all their work, advice, time, and energy. It's been great. There are other people who have been great advisors, and we appreciate your time as well. I want to do a special thank you to Pamela Olson, Library Director. Pam has been put in many extra hours for the campaign, has been helpful with suggestions, all the work. Her commitment to the campaign and to the library is just phenomenal, and we really appreciate it. Vinnie DiMacedo, state senator, and Tim Madden, state representative, could not be here today. They're in Boston working on the state budget, and 24 hours a day until it's done. So they send their greetings here. Julian Suso, town manager, is here, and he'd like to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlin. As Carlin noted, I'm Julian Suso, Falmouth Town Manager, and it's really an extraordinary honor and a privilege to be here. I stand here on behalf of the Falmouth Board of Selectmen, who've had some scheduling challenges today, and possibly one or more members may be with us yet this afternoon, but it's been a difficult one. So again, it's my privilege to be here on their behalf, and it is very humbling for me to stand here. I do want to congratulate Carlin, also Pamela, and members of the Board of Directors, members of the Building Committee, members of the Fundraising Committee, and also distinguished guests and friends and fellow residents of Falmouth. I have personally, my wife Stephanie and I have spent some hours at this library, either during leisure pursuits or also at public and community meetings. And it is, as all of you know, an absolutely extraordinary gathering place, not only for West Falmouth, but for the Falmouth community as a whole. And it is just a wonderful occasion for us to be able to partner together, to collaborate, and to support one another in this very exciting expansion as represented by today's groundbreaking. So thank you for the opportunity to play a small role in this entire process. As I noted, it is humbling. We're happy to participate and support, and it is remarkable to think about perhaps a similar gathering 120 years ago to celebrate an occasion of making all of this begin. So we stand on the shoulders of some extraordinary people, and I am privileged to be here with you today. Thanks for the opportunity. We look forward to what is yet to unfold, and we continue to roll up our sleeves to work with all the extraordinary people involved in this process, and we will join you as the days continue. Thank you again for the opportunity. Congratulations and all the best.
Thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce Charles McCaffrey, the much dapper Charles McCaffrey, co-chair of the Building Committee, who will tell you about the building and what's going on. So, thanks.
Thank you, Colin. My job is, I'll be brief in describing what we're doing today with the building, because I think most of you know that, but I do have an obligation to thank many people who have brought us to this stage. A few years ago, we had a community forum which identified the needs of the library. Many of you participated in those forums, and based on that, we began the design effort to restore and renovate the existing library. Just as the community gave us this library 100 years ago or more, today the community is giving us a library for the next 100 years. A building that will serve the varied uses that a library does today. The quiet reading room, new outdoor space, improved children's space, better functioning for meetings and programs, a building wired to be wireless. So this library, as it is restored and renovated and added to, will serve the community for another 100 years, I'm sure. Let me thank those who have brought us from the first idea of doing this to where we are today, ready to begin construction. First, I need to thank the Building Committee, which attended many meetings, reviewed many plans, and offered ideas on how to make it a better project. First of all, Ollie Eggleston, the co-chair of the Building Committee, Ollie, and Jim Vieira, member of the board and head of facilities, Ben Coffin, whom you all know, participated, Jim Griglin, as well as Carlin and Pam on the Building Committee. The architectural team was wonderful to work with, and they will be as we complete the project. The architect was Rick Finuccio and Maria Raber from the firm of Brown, Lindquist, Finuccio, and Raber. Want to thank Scanlon Construction, who is already on board and helping us to get the best value for our money into building this project. Seth Adams and Jack Bankett, who is here. We had help from engineering firms to deal with the challenges that the site presents. Mike McGrath from Holmes and McGrath. We had need of a good attorney, and we had that service from Bob Ahmed, both to help us get through the regulatory process and to achieve the swap of land with the town that was needed. And in that regard, I can even thank now Governor Baker, who signed that legislation last Friday. I'd like to ask Rick Finuccio to say a few words about the design and what the inspiration was for the creation of the new West Falmouth Library.
The business writer Tom Peters once wrote, "Community organizing is all about building grassroots support. It's about identifying the people around you with whom you can create a common passionate cause." Since having the very good fortune of being selected as the architect for this wonderful expansion and renovation project, we have seen firsthand how a true grassroots, community-driven effort has evolved. We have seen, and I anticipate that we will continue to see, a true public-private partnership unfold between the residents of Falmouth, especially West Falmouth, and this very special village-centered library. From the required land swap with the town to effect the expansion, generous CPC and state grant funding, to the most crucial piece, the private fundraising, it is clear that many committed people have united around a common and passionate cause. We'd like to thank you for including our firm as part of the development team that will now move this project from the planning stages to the construction stage. We remain committed to helping the building committee deliver the best project that we can, one that will be well used by residents, their families, friends, and our seasonal visitors for many years to come. To Pam Olson, we will certainly miss not having you participate in the upcoming construction phase. Your contributions have been significant throughout the design phase, and we hope that you will be happy with the end result. I'd like to close with a very brief quote by T.S. Eliot. I think it's very timely in the context of our recent news. "The very existence of libraries affords the best evidence that we may yet have hope for the future of man." Thank you.
Well, I keep hoping the clouds will continue on their way, but they just keep passing by. It's my pleasure to introduce Robin Wheeler, who's been a great, great, great friend to the library over the years. Her vast volunteer experience includes president and chair of many boards and organizations. From 1987 to 2000, Robin was a board member and then president of the Springfield Library and Museums Association. And my favorite is for 5 years she was chair of the National Memorial of Dr. Seuss. So, and I think that qualifies her for speaking today. So we appreciate Robin, so thank you.
Thank you very much, Carlin, for those nice words. And if you all are not the most generous, because that's why you're here, is because you so nicely donated to this wonderful addition for the library, but you're also extremely hardy to sit here in this sun. So we'll all be very, very quick. It's just wonderful to see so many of you here today. And I realize that I am preaching to the choir, because you are the people that have gotten us to this point. It's your generosity that makes this whole gathering possible, and we are extremely grateful. One of my favorite authors, strangely enough, is Theodore Geisel, otherwise known as Dr. Seuss, who often had a very unusual but salient way of addressing a problem. In one of his books, The Lorax, He wrote about the problem of people caring about and changing society. In it, he rhymed, "Unless people like you care a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not." And you certainly have shown in a large way that you care. And because you do, we are going to make these great changes here. Thank you so much for getting us on our way. Our West Falmouth Library, as Carlin had mentioned, has had a rich history, beginning in the 1870s when a few young women of this farming village gathered to read and amass a small collection of books. Their club moved many times from a private home on what we know now as Old Dock Road to the Methodist Church, to a location near the West Falmouth Market, and then to its present site right here. The new building was made possible by virtue of the generosity of Mr. Wheeler Swift, who was June Atwood's great-grandfather. June, I know you're here. You can't hide, even though I know you'd like to. And so will you please stand so that we can thank your family for all that they have done to support our library and West Falmouth. I'm sorry? And Daniel Swift. Oh, please stand, Daniel. I have not met you. That's wonderful. We are so grateful for all you have done and are doing. What was I here? All right. The new Mr. Swift was a staunch Quaker, as were many West Falmouthites in those times. At the time, the library was by deed and in keeping with Quaker tenets deemed to be a very quiet and serious place. No frivolity, music, laughter, and certainly no alcohol. Eventually, June's grandmother, who must have been quite a wonderful woman, and way ahead of her time, realized the need to have a place for young people to meet, socialize, and enjoy each other. She had the deed altered, no small feat in any age, and had her piano moved from across the street to the library. Thus began a new era with concerts and programs for the young and old alike. June actually even told me that her grandmother gave June her first lipstick, so she must have been pretty awesome. Today, because of Mrs. Swift's foresight, the library really is the only place in the village that is able to accommodate meetings and social gatherings of various kinds. An active bridge group meets here, as does the Mahjong and book clubs. Many civic organizations hold their meetings in this building: the West Falmouth Village Association, Bowerman's Beach Club, West Falmouth Boat Club, Harborhead Tennis Club, and many general town informational meetings are held here in the library, as well as housing the nursery school, art exhibition, book sale, concerts, lectures, a notable collection of West Falmouth archival material, etc., etc., etc. It is definitely the go-to spot when we in the village need to gather for whatever purpose. In fact, our library is the heartbeat of this community, and I can say that its heart is very healthy indeed. With the ever-increasing activity at the library we are now experiencing, it is high time to bring this wonderful historic building up to date, and more importantly, up to code. Excellent library services have been available to us for all these many years, and now it is our turn to be there for the library. In full disclosure, it is important to me that I be totally honest with you. I don't take books out of the library here. I read on a Kindle. And I have confessed this to Pam Olson, and she tells me she's okay. I hope she's not just is being honest. In any event, this does not diminish my passion for the building as well as for this project. As residents of the village, we must preserve a community center for the use of the families who live here, whether as year-round or summer residents. To neglect it or leave it for others to tend to is simply wrong. We must all engage our enthusiasm as well as our pocketbooks to support the renewal of this great edifice. Every community has a centerpiece, and this library is just that for our village. As you have heard, we are very close to finishing the capital campaign. You, of course, have been extremely generous, and we are counting on you to encourage those who have not given to do so, to help us achieve our goal. Also, if any of you could possibly stretch a bit more and add to your current donation, that would be splendid. Actually, my husband Tom and I would like to add to what we have already donated, because this is such a great cause. I don't say how much. So if there's any way you can assist us in this endeavor, we will of course do anything to help you raise a little more money. When the new edition is finished, you will drive by, as we all do several times a day, and feel a sense of pride in our community for a job well done by us all. As Ted Geisel said in another of his books, Oh, the Places You'll Go, you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own now, you know what you know, and you are the guy who'll decide where to go. Thank you very much for showing us the way to go.
Robin, thank you so much. That was great. And Tom, thank you. And thank you, everybody, for sitting in the parking lot. We appreciate it. We, as Robin said, we hope you spread the word of what we're doing here at the library. It's important work. We know there are other people out there who would love to support us. They just haven't been contacted yet. So we'll look forward to that. Absolutely. We do appreciate it. There are, as Charlie said, the building committee is here. Jack from Scannon is here. Rick is here. Happy to answer any of your questions. Placement of building in and the inside. We also, our annual art show is up in the community room, so please take a look at that. In the downstairs area, there are renderings of what the library will look like, the community room and some of the other rooms, and a plan. And there's lemonade and cookies inside, upstairs, downstairs. So we thank you so much for being here. It's just a great occasion for all of us, and you're very brave people to weather the sun. So thank you. Oh, I'm not doing the rest of my job here. Rose has written me a note. This is Rose Resnick, who is invaluable to all of us. She is our intrepid consultant. Okay, so the first, we're going to do shovels over in the corner. So the first group is Pam, Robin, Rick, Jack, Charlie, and Ollie. And let's go toss some dirt. And then the next group is Mia, Katie, Pia, and Megan and children, because this group is the next generation of the library, and you'll be pleased to see them. And then Rose will be organizing others. So thank you for being here. Have some water, go inside, it's cool. Great.
So proceed to the dirt.
Thank you.
Julian, great pleasure for me.
And this is Tom Wheeler, who's my husband.
Hi, Tom. Julian Suso. Pleasure to meet you. Okay. Well, yeah, we're trying to coordinate together, so. Well, I think we got a notification from there's a former supervisor. Yeah, the whole group of contractors.
Was the sound okay?
Yeah, it's great.
Thanks.
What to do yet?
Foundation is solid. Everything close from that.
Hi, Tom.
We got a signal from our. We're missing some people.
We're missing some people.
Got a bunch of books from the library.
Why don't you stand right here? Mr. Swift, I have a shovel for you. Where's Mrs. Spence? Yes, Mrs. Sibley. Mr. Swift, this one's yours. Betsy, you want to stand?
I'll stand right behind the table.
Mary?
There you go. Shovel.
You two can share a shovel.
Not gold. Exactly. Come on.
No, yeah, you take it, Eddie. I can't pick it up. It's too heavy.
I'm not thrilled to shovel either, so we can just stand here and be beautiful.
I've been sent up, but there's no shovel.
No, yes, you sit with me.
We should be
Stand,
glad.
that's
We
fine,
should be
yes,
glad,
I'm happy
right?
too. I didn't.
Where are they putting this stuff?
Is it just?
Just take a pile of it.
I guess they.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm told that they never really did just shovel.
They just shovel dirt.
Come on here.
They do that at Falmouth Academy too. Ceremonial thing.
Yeah. These pictures. Totally ceremonial. It's quiet. It's probably.